Bears Now is presented by True Classic. I'm wearing my favorite True Classic tee right now, and you can too. So go to trueclassic.com/chat to get 25% off your first order. That link's in the comments and the description of today's video. We'll tell you more about them later on. But day one of the Chicago Bears mandatory minicamp is in the books, and so we have some takeaways as we get ready for day 2 and day 3. They're not all great. I'm not going to stand up here and act like everything's completely hunky-dory and the offense was 11 out of 10. Nope, there were some growing pains and some hiccups. So I do want to start our takeaways off on a bit of a higher note, and that was something you may have already seen online, but let's say it one more time for the people in the back. FGB, F the Packers, and defensive tackle Justin Jones feels the exact same way. He roasted the Packers when speaking to the media after the first day of minicamp, and it was music to my ears, okay? This is what Justin Jones said. They won in week 2, but their fans are really shitty. I'm ready to take the NFC North over. It's a good time to be a Bears fan. I'm not going to lie to you. I want to go out there and beat the hell out of them and hear their fans boo. There is nothing I hate more than the Green Bay Packers and Packers fans. I grew up in the Chicagoland area, and there's always that one kid at the lunch table whose dad's from Wisconsin, so he's a Packers fan, and every single year he comes to school on Monday wearing his Packers jersey, a Jordy Nelson jersey, or a Donald Driver jersey that his dad gave him, and it drove me nuts. Hate the Packers, FGB. This is Harrison Graham's show, so I'm going to refrain from using some other curse words out there because Harrison might not like it. But you know what? F the Packers and FGB. And if you hate the Green Bay Packers, spam FGB down in the comments section. We're going to get some hardcore takeaways from minicamp in just a moment. But let's start things off right on a good foot here. FGB. Okay. Now the bad side of things. The offense kind of / really struggled during minicamp. Now it's just June. They're just kind of walk-through practices, flag football-esque. There's no live contact or anything like that. But Justin Fields in the offense struggled against the team's second-string defense. Not ideal, especially when it is just a walk-through type of practice and there are no live contact or anything like that. You'd like to see the offense do a little bit better when it's pitch and catch. Instead, that was not the case. Now, more on this in just a moment, but first, a quick word from today's sponsor. Father's Day is around the corner, and one thing is for sure. Your dad has enough ties, tools, and baggy tees. So this year, give your dad, the father figure, your mentor, or any loved one in your life the gift of looking good and feeling good with True Classic. Their ultra soft tees are fitted in all the right places, and with just enough room where you need it, you'll never want to wear anything else. But True Classics isn't just about tees. They have everything you need to build a complete wardrobe, from button-downs to Henleys to polos. True Classic is also has a line of comfortable, stylish jeans and chinos, and a collection of activewear that's perfect for anyone who wants to stay comfortable while staying active. And if you're not completely satisfied with your purchase, they offer a 100% risk-free guarantee and easy returns. So with affordable prices and high-quality clothes, True Classic is a no-brainer for anyone looking to upgrade their wardrobe. Don't settle for anything less than the best. Try True Classic today. Use our promo code CHAT at trueclassic.com/chat to get 25% off your order, plus free shipping on purchases over $100. So give a gift that your dad would love to have in True Classic tees. Once again, that link is trueclassic.com/chat with promo code CHAT to get 25% off your order. So good news, bad news when it comes to the offense struggling. The good news is the defense is back, right? The 2018 defense is right around the corner. The monsters of the Midway have returned, and this defense is going to be elite because they stopped what's going to be one of the best offenses in football this year. That's the spin zone for the century. The bad news is the offense should dominate non-padded practices. They can't really sack the quarterback. There's no tackling or anything like that. It's glorified flag football in a lot of ways. So if that's the case, that benefits the offense mightily, right? The defense's job is to make contact, to tackle players. When they're not allowed to do that, you would think the scales tilt towards the offense. Unfortunately, not the case yesterday during the first day of minicamp. Bears reporter Dan Weirder tweeted out, Justin Fields' best throw of the day was a perfectly placed deep ball up the right sideline to Dante Pettis. Just a special display of arm talent and ball placement. That's the kind of play that speaks to the high-level potential. So it wasn't all bad. There were definitely some highlights, and I just want to see more of these highlights because I'll say it, if no one else wants to, it is just June. There's no reason to really be panicking all that much right now. But the offense should dominate against the second-string defense, right? I remember during the early Mitch Trubisky days where Mitch had some bad days, and we all sort of swept it under the rug because it's June. There's no real football for a long time. It'll get figured out, and hopefully that's the case right now. People have bad days at work. It happens. Hopefully the offense bounces back throughout the rest of minicamp. But you'd like to see your offense kick the second-string defense's ass. Instead, they did an 11-on-11, 2-minute drill at the end of practice, and the offense got sacked once and twice, and then a incompletion on 3rd and 4th down. So not ideal against your team's backup defense. But what's your concern level over this offense? It's really early. I'm not panicking. I'm not even taking the panic button out of the drawer, but I do know which drawer it is in. And right now, I'm probably at a 4.1. I'm at a 4.1. No, I'm going to downgrade it, 3.9. And that's not saying that I'm at 3.9 because the offense has been disastrous through OTAs. It's just I need to see it to believe it before I know this run game can be as good as it was last year. And it was awesome last year, but you are moving on from Montgomery. And you got a whole new plethora of wide receivers coming in and a revamped offensive line with 2 new starters added. Now, my third takeaway from the first day of minicamp, Justin Fields to DJ Moore continues to be a highlight reel. Zach Pearson, one of the best reporters out there covering the Bears, tweeted out, a positive from OTAs/minicamp has been the Justin Fields and DJ Moore connection. Feel like that's going to get better and better as we go on. So, while it might not have been all rainbows and, glamour for the first day of minicamp, there was some really great things. Now, if we're going to get in the nitty-gritty of what to expect from Justin Fields to DJ Moore, I found these stats pretty interesting, and I wanted to share it with you guys. Fields' average depth of target was 9.1 yards last year, which ranked tied for 4th. Now, what does that mean? ADOT, it means how far past the line of scrimmage was Justin Fields' target. So is he a Kirk Cousins who checks it down on 4th down in the playoffs, or is he going for the home run ball downfield? Average times, 9.1 yards downfield, which was pretty high, right? Tied for 4th. Now, DJ Moore's average depth of target when he was targeted, meaning how far down the field was he when the ball was thrown his way, was 13 yards past the line of scrimmage. And that ranks 6th among players with 75-plus targets. So both Justin Fields and DJ Moore love to push the ball down the field. In English, Fields was bombing the ball down the field. DJ Moore loves to go down the field and catch those bombs. So this should be a great marriage, right? You have one of the best quarterbacks for pushing the envelope and wanting to get the big chunk plays and not afraid to rip it loose. And now you have a receiver like DJ Moore who can finally be on the receiving end of those plays, because last year, once Darnell Mooney went down, you really lost your big play potential, the guy who could stretch the field. Now you add DJ Moore, you drafted Tyler Scott, you're going to get Darnell Mooney back, you're going to have the big play weapons waiting for Justin Fields that can catch the ball when he lets it loose and airs it out 50-plus yards. So before we get on to my 4th and 5th takeaway from the first day of minicamp, make sure to subscribe if you have not already. This is my friendly YouTube cliche portion of the show where I say subscribe down below, hit that sub button, yada, yada, yada. I'm just trying to reach 68,000 subscribers for Harrison Graham by the time training camp rolls around. He'll be back from his vacation next week, and let's have a little present waiting for him, right? And not something gross on his desk like in the office. Instead, let's get him 68,000 subscribers. 4th takeaway coming out of Hallis Hall was Cody Whitehair as the starting center. Now, this is not groundbreaking news. It's been trending this way for quite some time now. But we have a real good look at the offensive line for the Bears, with Braxton Jones at left tackle, Tevin Jenkins at left guard, Cody Whitehair at center. Nate Davis comes over in free agency from Nashville to step in at right guard. And then your 10th overall pick in the draft, Darnell Wright, will be your day one starting right tackle. This is going to be an improved offensive line. When you look at the PFF ranks from last year, you retain a player like Braxton Jones who really caught on in the second half of the season. Tevin Jenkins was quietly one of the best guards in football, period, last year. Cody Whitehair missed some time, but he's going to be rotating around, stepping in at center, and hopefully he can be a very sturdy piece in the middle of this offensive line. Nate Davis was one of the better under the radar acquisitions in free agency by Ryan Poles. And then you add Darnell Wright, a player I was crazy about coming out of Tennessee, to lock down the right side of the offensive line. Now, as for Lucas Patrick, he kind of talked about his role in this offensive line as a understudy for Cody Whitehair. He's going to be that sixth man on the offensive line. If something were to happen to Jenkins, Whitehair, and Davis, and two of those three guys missed some time last year, you can suspect Aaron Patrick could step up and maybe some reshuffling happens. But Lucas Patrick is primed to be that sixth man off the bench when it comes to the interior offensive line. Fifth and final takeaway coming out of day one of minicamp, the rookies were shining. We got our first, not glimpse of them. We've seen rookie minicamp, we've seen OTAs, but now we see it with all 90 players on the roster together, and a couple of them really stood out, right? Pearson tweeted out, back in from Bears practice, first minicamp practice in the books. Wasn't a good day for the offense, but end of the series was really good on defense. Gervon Dexter stood out to me, won some reps against the first-team offense. That's what I was talking about earlier when it came down to the 2-minute drill. Gervon Dexter got a sack. He's not actually tackling Justin Fields, but they are calling it a sack if he gets pressure on the quarterback. And when you look at the Bears' defensive line depth chart here, there is going to be some competition, right? I don't think Andrew Billings has absolutely locked up that defensive tackle spot opposite of Justin Jones. Gervon Dexter and Zach Pickens, two rookies out of the SEC, very well could push Andrew Billings for that starting defensive tackle role. Now, on the offensive side of things, Chris Emma tweeted out from 670 The Score, Bears rookie receiver Tyler Scott shined during practice today, including an impressive diving deep catch down the sidelines. He's going to be an interesting player to watch throughout training camp. Now, Tyler Scott I currently have as the fourth wide receiver on this depth chart, and Chase Claypool hasn't done anything to prove that he is going to be a wide receiver 3. I hope he eventually gets to that point. I was never super excited about the trade when it happened, especially when we learned what pick they would truly be giving up. But Tyler Scott, the rookie out of Cincinnati, is definitely a player to keep an eye on as he potentially climbs the depth chart. I think Tyler Scott could have a Darnell Mooney-esque rookie season. Remember Mooney in his first year? No one really knew a whole lot of him coming out of Tulane. Wasn't a lot of scouting or coverage that year due to COVID. But Darnell Mooney ended up being a 600-plus yard receiver in his rookie season. Don't be shocked if Tyler Scott has that type of role in year one as well. Now, as for the injury report coming out of minicamp, everyone was in attendance, so there were no holdouts or hold-ins or fines being distributed, but not everyone played. Chase Claypool and Darnell Mooney. Mooney, we know why. He's still coming back from the injury last year. Claypool, that's a bit of a bummer, right? He had a soft tissue injury pop up in OTAs. Would like to see him get all the reps possible. Chase Allen, Jack Sanborn, he's working back from an injury. Terrell Smith, a rookie, and Jalen Holmes as well joined the injury crew. Now, speaking of injuries, I want to wrap up today's show with this question that's very open-ended. Pick a player from the Bears to restart their career, but healthy this time. Like Kevin White is a prime example of what could have been, right? To go back and restart his career, but this time there's no shin splints, there's no injuries in the first 2 years of his training camp. We get a full, healthy Kevin White. Johnny Knox would be another great one as well. I always thought Bryce Callahan could have been very special for this team. He was great, but we only saw him in infrequent doses. Unfortunately, he was an injury-plagued player. So let me know which player you would like to see restart their career, but this time 100% healthy the whole time. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Hopefully, I did a decent job filling in for the one and only Harrison Graham as he is on vacation, taking a much-needed break. The guy works very hard here at Chat Sports. Matthew Peterson signing off. Until next time.